1 week in, and we have got a whole slate of Premier League games again. We're going in again. It's match week 2. Boys, let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Welcome in. This is Red Card Radio. This is the preview show. As always, I am James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. And boys, after a phenomenal first match week in the Premier League, we've got 10 games coming up this weekend, full slate of games, getting right into it, kicking off the weekend, match week 2. Early morning game, at least if you're on the East Coast, even more so if you're on the West Coast of America. The mid-morning game in England is Villa hosting Everton. So we've got Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard lock in horns again, seeing who's going to get seeing what's going to happen there at Villa Park. Moving on, we got Arsenal hosting Leicester at the Emirates, Brighton hosting Newcastle, City hosting Bournemouth, Southampton hosting Leeds, Wolves will be hosting Fulham, and then rounding out Saturday, we've got Brentford hosting Manchester United. Sunday morning, we got Nottingham Forest hosting West Ham United. The probably premier matchup of the weekend is the London derby of Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspurs. And the weekend is rounded off on Monday with Liverpool hosting Crystal Palace up at Anfield. So, I mean, like, there's like probably 9 games that we need to talk about. Like, one game's probably a throwaway, right? Like, we don't really need to spend any time on Chelsea Spurs, right?
It's a Chelsea dub, so now we can skip it.
You got a whole lot of confidence coming over there.
Well,
oh yeah.
I mean, if you guys are interested for some particular, we can spend a little bit of time on it. We can talk about it.
Hey, listen, he's got a whole lot of confidence for somebody that struggled with Everton.
You guys struggled with Southampton for a while too, so don't get super hype over here.
Well,
football is dead, I think was the text message we got 12 minutes into the match. F1 pod, and we see and you guys saw what happened on Thursday.
They scored first. What am I supposed to say?
I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's first versus 8th in the league table. Like, I don't remember the last time there was that big of a difference between Chelsea and Spurs in the league table. Right? Right? The league table doesn't lie, right, guys? Right? No? Okay.
That was awkward. Anyways.
It's a joke. You're supposed to be like, oh, I thought we were going to look at the league. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But in all seriousness, this is the first really like big marquee, Big Six matchup of the Premier League season. It's a London derby. It's at Stamford Bridge. To Sean's point, like, Brad, I think we talked about this in the review episode. You thought that Chelsea both failed to create chances and had issues breaking down Everton. Do you think that they're going to have struggle breaking down Tottenham?
They sat in a 9-1-1. Of course, we struggled again to break down Everton. Like, there was no impetus. The impetus was to kick the ball forward and hope Gray.
You're right, Sean. That's 12, but it's okay.
The goalie was part of the 9-man line.
Got it. Understood.
See.
All right.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do, but they just kicked it and hoped somebody would run under it. Like, that was what they did. And then they tried to bully and slow the game down, which actually worked in Chelsea's favor because that's what Chelsea wanted to do in that game. Get a goal, get out. I think we're going to switch our lineup up a little bit. I think Dave and Reese switch spots. I think Reese can be the right center back for this one to lock down Son on that left side. And I'll be interested to see if Koulibaly starts.
You think he
depends
doesn't?
on Chilwell's? It depends on Chilwell's fitness, I think, because Chilwell's still working back from his ACL. So if Chilwell's fitness is fine, then Chilwell's going to start left wing back, and Cucurella starts at left center back.
Interesting.
If not, then Cuckoo's starting on the left and Koulibaly left wing back, and Koulibaly will start as left center back.
Interesting. So you're a Chelsea fan, obviously,
yes.
And you saw for 18 months Antonio Conte at Chelsea, or 2 years. I think it was 2 full years, roughly something like that. I forget exactly how long it was. But so Antonio Conte spent time at Chelsea, and so you understand his system pretty well. Antonio Conte is a systems guy. Like when Antonio Conte sides don't have the ball, they sit 5 at the back and 3 right in front of that. Like they're not going to be easy. They're not going to be a pushover side, right?
Sure. I'm not scared of that back line though.
Okay, so you're
Like,
gonna let
Dyer's going to Dyer.
Okay.
Dyer's going to Dyer at some point in this. Let's be real.
Okay. All right.
Davies can't cover Mount.
Well,
Romero might be able to stop Sterling.
Mount's not going to be playing that far forward that Mount's going to be hung up by Basuma or by Højbjerg or someone in the middle of the park, right? Like
no, he's playing on the right side.
Okay, that's fine. That's all well and good. Okay.
Right forward.
Ivan Perisic.
Do you think Perisic starts?
Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon had a great game before being subbed off. He was the first sub off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a Conte goal. That is how Conte's system works. That's why Victor Moses was really good in that spot too. When Conte was here, like Sessegnon fits that mold. That was an awesome Conte goal.
And Sessegnon's 23, and he's only going to get better. Just imagine how much he'll get better from week to week.
I mean, do you think there's going to be
like last week to this week?
That was going to be my question. So, Sean, you've been pretty bellicose on Twitter. You've been pretty. I don't want to say you've been pretty confident. I feel like on Twitter talking about how if Spurs get through this weekend, you got 18 points riding through the first 6 matches. Do you
through to the Etihad? Yeah.
Do you think? Talk me through how you think Spurs win this game.
Well, I don't see that I don't think they've really improved their back line. I think you and I agree on that.
Talk about Chelsea.
I don't think, Kula, whatever be. I don't whoever.
Koala
yeah, Koala, I don't think Koala B helps him. He's old and he's never been someone that's fast. And you put that with Thiago Silva, who's he's
relying on his intelligent quotients.
He's a legend, but he's also 36, 37. Like, let's be honest.
He's old.
38. Sorry. Yeah, he's old. He's not going to be the fastest guy on the pitch. So, like, who is your Rudiger? Who is your go get it? So sometimes a center back need to step up and go get the ball.
I don't think you've been watching Koulibaly play. I know you haven't because you think it's the Farmers League. But
yeah, I don't watch Napoli. But
Koulibaly is that character.
Okay. Well, good luck. Good luck, because I will give you this stat, Brad. Since January, goals assisted or scored by player, the top 3 in the league are Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, Kulusevski.
That was going to be my point. Is that I think one of the biggest things that Spurs have going for them coming into this match is that their attacking core has been playing together for at minimum 6 months, and they look really sharp. If you talk about just Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, they've been playing together for like 5 years or something like that. It's insane.
4 or 5 years, yeah.
So I think that's in they're going to be playing against a Chelsea back line that is not necessarily. They haven't been playing together for 6 straight months. Depending on how you set that back line up, there's going to be some element of a player that's new there, and this is going to be really the first big test. Now, Cucurella, of course, had seasons at Brighton and has established himself in the Premier League. Koulibaly, I think that there's going to still be questions. I don't necessarily think a game against Everton is really going to be that telling. I think if Koulibaly plays this weekend against Spurs and has a good game, I think that will be very telling for him long term.
Yes.
But I think that this is going to be a very stern test for Chelsea. Because in all honesty, Spurs might have the best attacking trio in the league. It's possible you can make that argument. It's certainly better than Chelsea's attacking trio.
I've seen those arguments floating, and I think it's really close to City and Liverpool. You'd have to put Liverpool's in there with Salah,
Nunez, and
Salah,
Diaz.
Diaz. Yeah, you take your pick.
Diaz. You'd have to put that right there with it. But granted, those are new together, although they seem to be working just fine last week. Nunez just seems like
he seems like a baller.
He's a goal scorer. He's
a goal scorer. Just put the ball at his feet, and within striking range, he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I think I saw shout out to Tamzeed. I think I saw him compare him to Fernando Torres reincarnate. I think I saw him say, or not
Yeah.
Fernando
Yeah.
Torres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I saw that tweet.
Reincarnated. So yeah.
All right.
But City,
We'll see.
I don't think City have a better attacking three than those three.
I think it's
Holland plus whichever two you want to pick.
Well, it's Holland. So what they played last week was
we'll see
Holland,
what Holland is.
Holland, Foden, and Grealish as their front three, supported by De Bruyne, who is probably the best midfielder in the world.
We're not talking about De Bruyne.
I know.
You can do Holland,
That's a different.
Grealish, Mahrez. You can do Holland, Foden, Mahrez. Like any of those four.
Alvarez as well now.
Alvarez is going to be a beast.
I'd probably take our three over any of those three combinations. But Liverpool's the one where I have to stop and examine.
I mean, obviously you guys are confused because it's Gabriel Saka, but whatever. You guys. All right. Now is the important time. I need to know, Brad, who's going to win? What's the score?
Chelsea 2-1.
Chelsea 2-1. I'm going to put B. Sean, what's the score?
This is going to be 3-0 Tottenham.
Oh.
0-3 at the bridge.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I don't think your back on has a chance.
Oh wow.
I have not.
Yeah, I know.
I have not given this enough thought because we talked about this beforehand that we were going to take predictions. I also think Spurs are going to win this game. I think it's going to be 2-0 Spurs. We'll see. I guess that was see. I invite anyone who's listening to this podcast. Let us know in the comments. It's you're getting this Friday morning, so you got all day Friday, all day Saturday to think about it. But definitely hit us up in the YouTube comments. Let us know what you think the score is going to be in the Chelsea Spurs match in that London derby. Since I'm here, we're going to talk about Arsenal real quick. Arsenal hosting Leicester this weekend at the Emirates. A little bit, Leicester have, over the last 5 years kind of established themselves as a powerhouse in the Premier League. I think that they're not a pushover team in the Premier League. They probably got a result last weekend drawing against Brentford that they were not super pleased about. But I am confident in the side that Arsenal have now. And there's some interesting storylines, with the kind of ever-present links between Arsenal signing Leicester's Yuri Tielemans. We'll see if that ever does materialize. It's certainly not going to materialize between now and when the match starts Saturday morning. But I think that will be a good test for Arsenal. I think if Arsenal can get through that match, that'll be a really important foundation block for the season. I'm pretty confident going into the game, if I'm being completely honest, but I think I definitely respect Leicester as a threat. I swear if Jamie Vardy scores, I'm going to be really mad looking at his stupid face.
Guys, when Jamie Vardy scores, please send all of the memes of Jamie Vardy's face to @James and we might post a montage on @redcard_radio of all of these Jamie Vardy faces.
Can't stand his face. But I think that should be a pretty good game. I think it'll be a good game. What other games you guys kind of stand out to you this weekend? What games should we talk about?
I mean, I'm down for Brighton Newcastle. I think we can test the levels of Newcastle.
Okay,
clearly they weren't tested this week.
This will be
or week one. We'll see week two.
I think this will be an interesting match. So Newcastle have to travel the length of the country, coming from Newcastle down to Brighton. Brighton get a great result away at Old Trafford. Newcastle got a great result home to Nottingham Forest. One of those might have been more expected than the others. I think if you look at that on paper, you expected Newcastle to beat Forest. You probably didn't expect Brighton to beat United. So this could be like kind of similar power levels coming into this match. You look like you scoffed at that, Sean.
Well, no, this one really quick. I hadn't checked the comings and goings of Brighton, but they lost their best player to us, and I didn't. I don't know if I saw them replace or upgrade or anything. But so getting a result last week was a little surprising for me by the fact of that.
Graham
I mean,
Potter,
you mean-
Graham Potter talked about that in his postmaster
They're
conference.
two best players. They're
Yeah.
two best players because
Yeah.
Cucurella's
say-
gone.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say, you mean their best player went to Chelsea?
you guys can.
But someone was their best player.
You guys can fight about it. Well, 2 years ago they lost their best center back. It doesn't matter. In Ben White is what I'm saying. But like that's the thing is like Graham Potter mentioned this in his postmaster conference at Old Trafford. He said, I think someone asked him about losing their two best players. Like, how do you make it work? And he's like, this team just like they fight and they do what they need to do. And we've been like the whole core of the team has been together for a pretty long time. And yeah, you lose Basoma and yeah, you lose Cucurella, but you find a way to make it work.
Do you guys realize that Brighton made as much money off of Ben White and Cucurella as City did off of Sterling and Jesus?
City have had incredible business this summer.
110 million. Well, no, Brighton over two transfer windows between Ben White and Cucurella made the same amount of money as Raheem Sterling and Jesus. That's awesome business.
Plus, I think they got throw another 25 million for Basuma on there as well. They've
25 for Basuma. Yeah,
they've had great business.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to hear what you think about this game, Joel. Are
you worried, Joel? Is this an L? Is this a draw? What yeah, I want to see what you think.
I think Joel should feel cautiously optimistic about the game because if you look at Newcastle over the course of the last 6 months, they've been one of the best sides in England in terms of picking up results. But Brighton have been no slouches, and I think it'll be interesting.
I want to talk about Southampton Leeds too.
Yeah,
because we kind of highlighted that in the review. The American side and Leeds, and that was a good result for them.
Yeah.
And Harrison looked good. I'm curious, traveling down to the bottom of the coast, how do you do away? Southampton just got battered. Do they come back? Do they battle back of like we're not getting relegated?
Yeah.
And then does the team look the same away as it does at the Stadium of Light? No, Ellen Road.
Yeah,
Ellen Road. Does it look the same away? Stadium of Light, Southampton.
West Ham.
No, Stadium of Light is it's the other team in Newcastle. Sunderland.
Oh yeah, Sunderland.
Yep, you're correct.
Do you look the same away from Ellen Road than you do on the road? So I'm interested to see that personally.
Yeah, I think that to me kind of also seems like kind of a levels match because Leeds were flirting there with relegation last year, and Southampton have been all over the place for the last 2 years. So like that could be
top half to flirting with relegation to top half to they've been crazy.
So we ended our review show slandering Manchester United. Do you guys want to end?
True.
Do you guys want to end our preview show slandering Manchester United?
Brentford slapping them with Christian Eriksen in the other uniform. They're slapping them at home.
I think so. This is the Christian Eriksen game. How good does Christian Eriksen get a good reception at Brentford?
Oh, I hope so.
Course.
I think so. Yeah. I don't think anyone at Brentford is salty about Christian Eriksen choosing to go to Manchester United.
No, I think Christian Eriksen is football's child at this point. Like when you die on the football pitch, like everyone just roots for you to be okay.
Yeah.
Like we just want you to be alive.
Yeah.
I was like, have you seen the Norwich game? Brendan Williams like gets tackled by Eriksen, is like about to like start like beating him up. He's like, oh yeah, hug.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, no.
So
I think every football fan is a Christian Eriksen fan. Like we're just happy you're alive, man.
I think Ivan Toney is going to bully the crap out of Lisandro Martinez.
Yes.
If Lisandro Martinez is starting at center back again for Manchester United, I think that the game plan is just put Ivan Toney, have him back into Lisandro Martinez and just play like he's a center in the NBA and just lob balls at Ivan Toney and see what he can do.
Yep.
I
agree.
I don't know exactly how tall Ivan Toney is, but there's got to be at least 6 inches there of difference. And I know Lisandro Martinez. What?
Does Braun get off the bench finally?
I don't know why he wouldn't. Right? Like I understand that Martinez is Ten Hag's guy, but in this situation,
are you benching Maguire, the captain?
You should.
I mean, we know what he should do, but is he going to? Can he on his second game there?
Honestly,
he benched Ronaldo in game 1.
Honestly, well, his claim was that Ronaldo was lacking match fitness, which I think is actually true.
I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily wrong. But can you still like it's Ronaldo?
I mean, I think what United should do is should bench Luke Shaw and put Martinez out at left back, and then play Varane and Maguire as center backs. But who am I to make up tactics for Ten Hag? But I think this is going to be a difficult game for Manchester United.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be harder than they think.
What's the what happens if Manchester United lose this game?
Bro, I don't know. Does this shorten Ten Hag's tenure?
I don't think it
this
can.
year.
I don't think it possibly can. I think Ten Hag could finish 10th this year and still be the manager of Manchester United next year. They have to stick with him. But could you imagine like the vitriol and just the United fans are fed up, man. They are tired. They're exhausted of all of this, which I'm cool with. Like, I don't mind. Like, don't get it twisted.
We love it.
I want the exclamation point on all this,
Okay.
where Jose Mourinho just recently said that his greatest accomplishment as a manager was finishing second. And what was it, 2019?
I think it was winning the Europa League and finishing second at Manchester United. Doing those two things in that season.
That was his greatest accomplishment as a manager with that team. He specifically said with that team and all the behind the scenes stuff, all of that going on, that is my greatest accomplishment.
And I mean, like, you can go back for years. You look at Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho,
constantly being undermined,
Ralph
clearly
Rangnick,
being under,
like
clearly to the fans, and we're not even fans.
Yeah, all of these managers have been pointing out the intense structural issues at Manchester United, and they've just sacked them all. Now, Ralph Rangnick was a different situation, but still, I think we're all here for Brentford victory, for the chaos it creates at Manchester United. But boy, they really desperately need at least a point at Brentford, and then that's a whole bag of issues. If Manchester United is going to Brentford hoping for a draw, that's just a whole different kettle of fish. But yeah, so if you're looking for a game to watch this week, we kind of divvy up the games that we are going to watch internally to make sure that, we get a good spread on these games. The one game we're leaving for you guys, the fans, that we think you guys should watch if you got some time on your hands is Nottingham Forest and West Ham United. Take a look at that game on Sunday. Let us know what you think and leave us some comments about it. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, we will also watch that game as well, but it's, fun to try and keep everyone, in the loop as well, and, feel a part of the podcast. Leave us a comment and we will talk about any of the games you want, because I think this is a great, for match week 1 had a lot of good games. I think match week 2 has got an equal number of really good games, and that's what I love about the Premier League, is that you very rarely find a dud. Right? It's not like Sassuolo versus Venezia or something like that, right, Sean?
Some bullshit. Some farmers playing plumbers.
I mean, if you're interested in farmers playing plumbers, the Italian Serie A does come back this weekend. So
this weekend,
check it out.
This weekend.
Will, give us a Juve update. Let us know what happens. Maybe a Paul Pogba update as well. Actually, we're more interested in Weston McKennie here at Red Card Radio.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all we got for you guys tonight. Definitely check out a game. If you just stumbled upon this and you're not really a big football fan, or maybe you are a huge football fan, whatever, definitely check out a Premier League match this weekend. They all should be really good, highly competitive, a lot of fun to watch. And we would love to hear from you in the comments what you thought about what you saw. Or hit us up. You can always find us on Twitter. We're constantly tweeting. That's at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. And we collectively, you can hit us up at redcard_radio. If you don't tweet, you could send us an email, info.redcardradio@gmail.com. Or you could always leave a comment on the YouTubes, and we will get to it that way. But until next time, until we're reviewing all of these episodes, thanks for listening, and we really appreciate it. Have a good one.